Welcome to the July 23rd, 2019 edition of the 21st Century Marketing Meetup. My name is Brad Barbault. I'm the founder and principal of Ascend Business Design and Development. We hold these meetups once each month to explore digital marketing practices, tools, and strategies to help you build your brand through digital media. This month, we open with an interview with Adam Gordon, storyteller-in-chief for the Oya Group. Adam is a creative copywriter and marketer extraordinaire. In the interview, I talk with him about his approach to digital marketing. Welcome, Adam Gordon.
Thank you.
Of the Oya Group. It's great to have you here. Looking forward to the evening.
Me too.
So, wanted to take a couple minutes for us to get to know you and the audience to get to know you and find out a little bit. So, give us the thumbnail sketch of your background and how you got to here.
I have a pretty eclectic background. Starting out of college, I spent 10 years at what is now Poly. And they were Plantronics back then. Yeah. And over the next few years, I actually saw a number of my designs go into production, and that was kind of fun. And spent some time going from there into a sales role where I took a major PC manufacturer from nothing to a couple $1 million run rate a year with the state of California. Cool. And the whole time I was in sales, I was moving a little bit towards more of the strategic side, and eventually somebody said, you should go into marketing. And that was 25 years ago. Cool. Cool. And so where I am now is the way I see what I do is I help companies tell their stories. The better you tell your story, the better it goes. The easier it is to sell, the faster you can scale, the more people you will attract. And so that story becomes really a big part of the essence of what we do for people, and that enables them to then launch into all kinds of crazy growth, and I've got some examples tonight that I'll show you.
Excellent. So stories have been a theme that I've been harping on for a long time. Stories are accessible to the brain. The brain likes stories, so they're very engaging. You can communicate a lot that if you gave people that information as straight information, their eyes would roll up in the back of their head, they go to sleep, etc.
We did not evolve to understand PowerPoints.
That's exactly true. How very true.
Yes, we evolved to get information from narratives. As a matter of fact, one famous writer I was just reading the other day said there's nothing quite as informationally dense as a metaphor. You can pack a lot of information into just a few words.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so how companies tell their stories and the way they tell their stories, whether that's on the web or in video, however, has an impact on what the story is going to be and how you want to tell it. And so that's the kinds of things that I do for customers, for my clients. And a lot of that is digital marketing, which we'll be talking about tonight. And a lot of digital marketing, I think, gets too constrained. And I think that if you look at it as part of a larger marketing effort, as opposed to, this is the digital marketing part, it gives it a context and it makes it work better. So that's going to be some of what we'll talk about tonight.
So you've been around for a little while here.
A little bit.
We won't talk about how old you are, but you've been on both sides of the digital divide. When you started into marketing, there was not much, if any, digital marketing.
We actually did cut and paste. We actually did.
And so one of the things that fascinates me is how marketing has changed. And I work in academia, I teach in academia, and we are way behind. We are still teaching 1950s style marketing and branding and not really teaching it the way it's happening in the digital world. So I'd be interested in what's your view on how marketing has changed with the digital tools coming.
That's a really interesting question, and I've actually been interested enough in the answer that I've been doing some research on things like what happened in society in general with the introduction of radio and with the introduction of television, with the introduction of new technologies like this. And this really isn't all that different. The fundamentals of human communication are the fundamentals of human communication, and whether you broadcast that over a TV stream, or you stream it live onto your phone, or you watch it on Hulu, or you tweet about it, human communication is human communication, and those fundamentals just basically don't change. That's the good news. The bad news is everything else on top of it does. So the way you communicate on Twitter won't be the way you communicate on Facebook or on your website and various other things. And so what's important is that underlying all of that is a foundation that's really based on human communication and really getting that message across. Because otherwise you're putting on all the stuff and who knows what's working and what doesn't.
Well, part of the difference to me, it seems, is yes, the message going out gets processed similarly, etc. But when people are watching that on television or seeing the newspaper and they respond, however they respond, you can't hear how they respond. But with many of the digital medias, and you mentioned Twitter and Instagram, etc., they can respond and you can respond back, so it can become a conversation.
Yes, yes. And in fact, that's always been true. It's just never been able to happen this fast.
Right.
You know,
right.
This country was founded, I just happened to be reading about the biography of John Adams. This country was founded basically on that day's Twitter, which was pamphleting. Pamphleteering, and that's how the news got out and how people took it into their homes, and that was the Twitter of the day. And there were dialogues happening over these.
And they could reach hundreds of people.
Hundreds of people. Their entire community right there.
Right.
But still, again, the fundamentals of the communication haven't changed, and so for me, what it is how do you use these tools to further your story and to better tell your story, and to have that fundamental human connection really be made. Because I think it's very easy, for instance, tonight I'll have a total of maybe like 6 slides. I've become a big disbeliever in PowerPoint, because I think it gets between people and their audiences.
Sure.
They're here to talk to me, not look at my slides. I'll put a pretty picture up, they can look at that if they want, but really I'm interested in the conversation, and I think that's what makes for a real human connection, which is what everybody's looking for.
Right, right. And with the two-way nature of the digital media, we get at least a step closer to that.
So I'm writing an article right now about care. Is that we like products that show that the designers care about us. Think about opening an Apple product. Every piece of that has been thought out.
Yes.
And a great example of that really today is if you go to the ge.com site, the homepage for ge.com, it's just a big search bar, and it's so simple you can tell that a lot of thought went into it, because if somebody's going to ge.com, they're not looking for airplane engines or rocket jet engines. They don't know what they're looking for. They're looking for something, and so GE made it easy for them to search while showing this beautiful montage of GE products. So that basics of human communication, if it underlies all of that design and all of that technology, it really can improve things.
Cool. So let me circle back for a moment to the
Sure.
Oya Group. Tell us a little bit about what the Oya Group is about.
Well, one of the things we do is make websites. My wife and I run the Oya Group, and we have, over the years, developed into a virtual agency that can provide anything from startups to departments of large companies, a suite of marketing services that involves the things that I do, the messaging, the strategy, things like that. And Karen is equally brilliant when it comes to pictures. So she takes the stuff that I do and turns them into beautiful pictures, and companies get great websites, they get great sales materials, they produce great media, and it's all done in a way that I think is rapid fire, it's repeatable, it's no magic. I'm a big believer in data. That's another thing that we'll talk about tonight, is data before and after. And so, you have the technology these days to know what works. And so all you need to do is listen, and we help companies talk, and we help companies listen.
Excellent. Well,
Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to your talk tonight.
Thank you.
And I encourage everybody else to watch the talk. Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you for listening. This concludes our interview with Adam Gordon. We invite you to listen to Adam's presentation, Digital Marketing, How You Win. And don't miss our July tip of the month on timing your posts for peak engagement. The 21st Century Marketing Meetups are a project of Ascend Business Design and Development. These meetups feature presentations by digital marketing experts and our tip of the month. Our mission at Ascend is to help companies grow profitably. Do you have a question or a digital marketing need? Reach out to us at Ascend. We're here to help your business grow.